Welcome to the Run Lift Mom podcast, where we're talking about running, lifting, and momming, not necessarily in that order. Today, I am speaking with InfiniLean creator, Jen Landry. Jen is an inspiring young entrepreneur who created the InfiniLean belt to solve her own problem. You heard? If you want your pants to stay up during your workout, here you go. You're going to hear her talk about this product, as well as how her community helped her turn it from idea into reality. Then we talk a little bit about her personal weight loss journey and the journey that she sees others go through as a health professional. We are going to see that there are parallels between the two, being an entrepreneur as well as being on a weight loss journey, and how community is a common denominator. Without further ado, Jen Landry. All right. Welcome, Jen Landry. I am so excited to have you on the Run Lift Mom podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am doing great. Jen, you are the creator of the InfiniLean belt. You have got to talk to me about why you created this product.
Yes. So I'm actually a certified trainer in a local gym, and I have been for the past 3 years. But there was one thing that I noticed that was a constant struggle with my clients, and I noticed it on a daily basis, which is leggings that constantly fell during their workouts or just moving around. And experiencing a weight loss journey myself, I could relate to that constant hassle of having to keep pulling them up, and especially to prevent your stomach from being exposed, which could lead you, it actually led me to being more self-conscious and less focused on my workout.
This is fantastic. So I want to back up a second. Obviously, we're in an audio space. So listener, you can either click details or swipe up, and you're going to see a photo of the InfiniLean belt. You're going to see Jen's info. But Jen, do you mind explaining to folks, first of all, what the belt is? And then I would love to unpack your personal journey a little bit with this.
Okay, sure. So the InfiniLean belt consists of magnetically attachable belt loops. You can choose a set of 5, which I consider the standard set, or plus size, which comes with an extra clip to provide the extra support. But either set is paired with an elastic belt, which is able to support a wide range of sizes for people who are on different fitness journeys and weight loss journeys. But it's designed to keep your leggings supported and in place during your workouts and just throughout the day. This eliminates the constant need to purchase new bottoms throughout the size changing process due to weight loss. But it's actually not just for athletic wear, but it could be used for other casual and professional beltless bottoms as well.
I love this. I love this, Jen. Listeners of this show know that my background, my professional background is in health and wellness. And I used to do a fair bit of bariatric counseling. Probably a lot of listeners as well bought activewear from me in the past. And so I know how many women, they're on this weight loss journey. It is fantastic to get to the next size down, but boom, even if your leggings are on the less expensive side, it's kind of annoying to need to buy a new pair of leggings every few weeks. And do you mind, just as someone who has trained others, as well as someone who has been on a weight loss journey yourself, do you mind speaking to the confidence part a little bit? I definitely perked up when you said and then if your belly is exposed, you feel kind of self-conscious. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yes. So I'll start with me first. So everybody knows the general freshman 15 when you go to college. In my case, I'm an overachiever, so I gained freshman 40. But in my sophomore year, I was able to lose 56 pounds. And with that, I'm very cheap myself, so I didn't want to keep buying leggings. So I actually kept mine through the whole time. And I did experience that constant having to pull them up. And actually, I didn't start working in this gym until after I graduated college. And I noticed there that women were doing the same thing. And I actually had this one specific member who was pretty much the main inspiration for this product, was because she lost a good 30, 40 pounds. And she resulted to using a rubber band around the excess fabric around her waistlining of her leggings. So I just kept having the idea pop in my head. I have to create a belt for leggings. Like I've seen people in the gym struggle with this. I've experienced it myself. And the idea just wouldn't go away. So I finally just like took it seriously and came up with the InfiniLean belt, what it is today. And even today in the gym, like I'll see women jump roping, and as their leggings fall down and their stomach comes out, they always tell me like, I can't wait for my stomach not to jiggle anymore. So having a product that provides that security, like keeps you in a more positive mood about your workouts. It helps you look forward to your workouts versus dreading what you're wearing or how you're going to feel during it.
For sure. I mean, I'm a runner. And so like from a performance perspective, I think about there are some things that we cannot control, right? Like the weather is a great example of that. But then there are some things we can control. And on the performance side of things, like if you have ill-fitting clothing on, right, it's going to affect your performance. So this kind of puts you in a position to win in terms of controllables. Can you talk to me a little bit about the importance of community in those fitness circles?
Most of my members and my clients, they love to see somebody they know in the gym. And especially women, like, we all like to find that gym partner that keeps us motivated and accountable to come in. You always want somebody there to motivate you. I know it helps me when I have somebody holding me accountable.
You're absolutely right. At the time of this recording, we are coming out of a time where maybe folks have been at home working out, or maybe it's a hybrid scenario, but we're all looking forward to being in person for things more. As a fitness professional, I mean, can you feel that in the space right now? I mean, you're obviously employed somewhere, right, where people are there in person. Are people excited to be there?
Yes. And you still have, I still have new people coming in that say, you have gained so much weight through the pandemic, and I'm just excited to be back, trying to get back on track.
Absolutely. We are all really prioritizing our passions. And so speaking of that, you're not only somebody, I love that you're an entrepreneur who has her feet in the street, so to speak, right? As someone who is a trainer, but then also you've got this entrepreneurial spirit as well. Can you talk to me a little bit about, in small business, the value of community there?
So I actually went to college for entrepreneurship and business. So I actually have some professors that have helped me through it, like the law professor who I had at Methodist University and my entrepreneurship innovation professor. I still communicate with them today just to network, like who can I reach out to help with this certain aspect of my business? And who can I reach out to help me with the legal process of like I've had to reach out for the patent process, for the tax and registering and everything else. So I've definitely kept in contact with my university, and they have helped so much with that. But actually just like having my neighbor push me to go and get a free consultation with the patent attorney, like that really sparked the process and got that going. And then my patent attorney put me in connection with my designer who's helped me get to the manufacturing process of my product. So it's definitely been a chain reaction, a chain of networking within Fayetteville, but has spread like all throughout the country. So like my designer is all the way in Idaho. Like it's definitely a supportive environment. Like you network with one person, and then of course they'll return the favor, network with somebody else. Like it's just a chain reaction. And that's the main thing I've really appreciated, is having that community of people you can always fall back on for advice. Like even have some members who are business owners, entrepreneurs, and I ask them questions. And it's definitely just a benefit to always have different mentors with different backgrounds and stuff like that, which I've really appreciated every single one of them for, because I would not even be at this point without any of them. I really wouldn't.
I love it so much. It's really rare, Jen, to find a young entrepreneur who is so open to guidance and advice, and you absolutely are. It strikes me too that you are, as a small business, following a very similar journey to maybe someone who is involved in weight loss, right? Like you're relying on the support of your network. You're asking questions. You're getting recommendations for, experts in different areas. Maybe someone comes in for the fitness, but they need a recommendation for nutrition. It's just a very parallel journey. And I know that you mentioned previously that you're an overachiever and you went for the freshman 40 instead of 15. Do you mind just, reflecting on that a little bit and what it felt like as you were losing that weight and how you relied on your community.
Like I was born, I've always been fluffy. I love to use the word fluffy. Have always been athletic. I've always played softball, volleyball. I love outdoors. I love hiking and all that stuff. But even if so, I just was always fluffy. So in college, after I gained that freshman 40, and you really don't realize how much weight you gain until you look at a picture and it just shocks you. I don't know what had changed, but I just saw one picture and it just flipped a switch. So then I started eating better. I was in the gym 5-6 days a week, getting my cardio in, getting my weights in. I was trying to get friends to work out with me, have them keep me motivated as well, because I really did need that at the time, especially like trying to keep up in school and stuff like that.
I want to stop you right there. And, it occurs to me, and again, bariatric counseling background here, there are some common denominators in your story with others, right, that I've compared notes with. One, that picture flipped a switch for you. You know what I mean? Like you decided to do it. And I love where you're going here. Do you mind, Jen? I mean, you're a trainer. You are a fitness professional. What would you recommend to somebody that maybe didn't have access to a gym or to a formal facility? Like, what would you tell that woman?
So during the pandemic, I actually had one of my members live close to me, and we had this platform outside of our complex that we would just meet up 3 or 4 days a week. And all we had was a set of dumbbells and 2 mats. So you can really start with anything. Like people underestimate the quality of just doing body weight workouts, like no extra equipment. You're just using your own body to gain muscle. Like people don't really understand that squat jumps, lunge jumps, push-ups, just normal squats. Like you can modify to any extent and still get results. And it's always better than sitting still, whether you're going for a walk, starting with a light jog. It just depends on your goal, but really just stepping outdoors puts you in a better mood to get a workout in. People always assume that you have to step on a treadmill or have a whole set of weights and other machines to work with, but you really don't. Like we didn't really have to use a lot of equipment to achieve our goals. And you can always use YouTube. You could always use workouts that you see online. It's just finding what really works for you. And for me, that was having just people on the sideline cheering you on a little bit. But even if you don't have that support, you have to do it for yourself. And a lot of times, like I had to check myself and realize this wasn't for anybody else. Like I just genuinely wanted to be healthy. And once I got and I saw how happy I was, like that's just always been a goal to remain in that mental place of being that happy with myself. And it's not because I was skinny, but it was because of overall being healthier, being more conscious about the health choices that I was making.
Okay, so one more thing before we abandon this, Jen. I'm sure there's somebody out there listening that's like, all right, that sounds good. That's fine and dandy, except they've got a major barrier. Like maybe they've been hurt or something. What would you say to that woman?
So there's always room for modification. And I often show that in the gym that I train at, but also in my own workout situation to where I started running about a year ago. And then I started off running 2.5 miles 3 times a week, worked my way up to 5 miles 5 times a week. And I was so excited. It was much more of a mental thing running than a physical thing. And I just fell in love with it. But then back in March of this year, I was lifting and I slipped a disc in my back. So I was out for like 2 months. I wasn't able to run. And it was actually hard to get back in that. But I could not give up lifting. Like working out is my life. I still found ways to lift. Like I couldn't lift like squat heavy weights, free barbells and all that stuff. But I was able to still get my arms in, get my certain machines that didn't put so much pressure on my back. So like if you have an injury, there's plenty of other body parts you can work. There's still other light cardio that you can do. So don't let one injury or even multiple injuries, because I still have members that come in with back and knee pain from being in the military for so many years. There's always ways to modify and reach your goals. So you can't ever let that stop you?
We're always going to be presented with different barriers. For some people, it's an injury. For moms like me, different seasons of my children's life present different time barriers. I love what you're saying. There's always ways to modify. It's great advice for either situation.
We even had a member who was 80 years old and had Parkinson's who came in at least once a week. And he was the motivation for so many members to just keep going, try to get into the gym more. Just showing up is the hardest part. And that's what I always tell my members. As soon as you walk in that door, I got you. Just find that person that's going to push you to just get started. That's all it takes.
Jen, where can people find you online?
So my website is InfiniLeanBelts.com. People actually have a hard time saying the word InfiniLean. I just like to put the connection. If you're saying infinity without the T, say lean instead. So it's InfiniLeanBelts.com. My social media, my Facebook and my Instagram are also just InfiniLean.
We will absolutely put this in the show notes as well. Listener, it's going to depend on the player that you're in, but you're either going to click details or swipe up. Jen with InfiniLean Belts, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, being so vulnerable with your personal weight loss journey, and also just emphasizing the value of community, be it in fitness or small business.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Jen, for coming on the show. Friends, if you want to check out her product, the InfiniLean Belt, all you've got to do is go to InfiniLeanBelts.com. You can also get $5 off by using the code KEEPITUP, KEEPITUP, as in keep it up. Keep tapping into your community, keep doing awesome things. And until I get into your earpiece again, remember, for while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. That's from 1 Timothy 4:8, and this has been the Run Lift Mom podcast.